Hello again, and welcome to the SIUE Springboard Academic Advising Orientation. Again, my name is Kelsey Cutright, and I am your assigned academic advisor. And please feel free to pause this video at any time if there's something that you want to take note of. And I especially encourage you to go ahead and save my contact information into your phone just in case you need to contact me over the summer or even once we get into the semester. So in this video, my goal is to explain my role as your academic advisor, what SIUE's general education requirements are, and to give you a broad overview of what your first semester of classes will likely look like. So first off, as your advisor, a big part of my role is to help you figure out what classes you'll be taking each semester. However, we will also likely spend quite a bit of time discussing your career goals, how to engage with your instructors and tutoring, your adjustment to campus life, and much more. So basically, I'm here to answer any questions that you might have during your college experience, or if I do not have the answers, to get you quickly connected with someone who does, such as a staff or faculty member. So at SIUE, every degree is made up of 4 different categories of classes. There's general education courses, major-specific courses, electives, and minor-specific courses, if you chose a minor. So therefore, before you graduate, you will need to complete all of the required gen ed courses, all of your major requirements, which includes things like specific courses, maintaining a certain GPA, etc. Complete all of your minor courses, and complete any lab, health, or internship experience that's required for your major. So finishing all of these requirements will result in completing the 120 credits that are required to graduate. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with these requirements, that's okay. Don't panic. It's part of my job as your advisor to ensure that you're meeting those requirements and to get you back on track if you get off track. And if you're not familiar with general education courses, these are basically just courses that are required for everyone to complete before graduation. So there's 3 different categories that you'll probably hear me bring up quite frequently. So those are the foundation courses, the breadth courses, and the experience courses. And we'll discuss these quite a bit more in depth as we start our advising appointments, but I wanted to give you just a broad picture of what it looks like to earn a bachelor's degree. So for your first couple of semesters at SIUE, you'll primarily be focused on completing those general education requirements, as well as just beginning your major specific courses. So for example, you will likely be in the freshman seminar class, English 101, ACS 101, which is our public speaking course, but we'll talk more about what your first semester schedule will look like later on in this video. So beyond gen ed courses, you will need to ultimately decide on a major, which requires specific courses that will train you for your desired career. So depending on your major, you also might want to choose a minor, but we typically try to minimize the number of elective courses that you take, just because those aren't required for your major or graduation, so they're kind of just extra. However, sometimes you need to take those electives to get to the 120 credits that are required to graduate. So even if you don't need any electives, most majors still have a lot of flexibility within your gen eds, your major and your minor courses. So you'll still have a lot of options and courses to pick from. And ideally, every student will take 15 credits worth of classes each semester. Because if you think about it, 15 times 8 semesters equals 120 credits. So you need those credits, obviously, to graduate. But some semesters, there'll be more or less, which will ultimately balance out. And that just depends on what courses you need each semester. So keep in mind, for every credit hour you're registered for, it's expected that you'll spend 1 hour on lecture, so that's the in-class time, and 2 hours on homework, which is out of class. So if you register for 15 credit hours, you will be in class for 15 hours per week and will be responsible for an additional 30 hours of studying outside the classroom. So being a college student, engaging in 40 hours of coursework or more a week, it's essentially like having a full-time job. So college is a lot of fun, and it's definitely supposed to be a lot of fun. But just keep in mind that it also takes a lot of work to be really successful at it too. So as your advisor, I will have pre-registered you for your first semester classes by the time we meet for your first advising appointment this semester. This will ensure that you have a seat in the recommended classes. But in order to do this, I will look at the major you indicated during your Springboard registration. I'll review your ACT scores and check to see if you have any dual credit. Before you schedule your advising appointment, though, which I'll tell you how to do at the end of this video, you will have the opportunity to confirm this information. So don't panic if it's changed since you registered for Springboard. You'll have an opportunity to update your information. With that being said, I do want to make sure that I have the most accurate information for you. So if you have not already, please log into the ACT or SAT website and have your scores sent to SIUE. And you can use the codes in this slide to easily have them sent to me. So there are several courses such as English, reading, and math that require those scores before I'm able to register you for the proper classes. So don't hesitate to get those scores sent in. And additionally, be sure that I receive your final transcripts from high school and your community college if you have dual enrollment credit. You'll want to call the high school and or community college directly to have an official transcript sent to SIUE. We cannot accept transcripts that you personally email or that you bring in, so be sure that they are sent from the institution itself. So after I've received all of that information from you, we are then ready to start placing you in your classes. So generally, your first semester schedule will look a lot like what you see on this slide. So you'll take any AD courses, which are academic development courses. They're prerequisite courses that you might need based on your ACT scores. You'll take FST 101, which is a freshman seminar course that's created to help you succeed at SIUE. English 101, which is your basic English composition course and a required gen ed course. ACS 101, which is our public speaking course, again, another required gen ed course. And then from there, we'll fill out the rest of your schedule to get you to 15 credits by putting you in any major related courses that we're able to, or adding any additional general ed courses that might fill out that schedule. So now it's almost time for you to move on to step 2 of your academic advising orientation, which is scheduling your advisement appointment. So at the end of this video, you will see a link that will take you to a site called Calendly. It will look a lot like what you see on this slide by showing you my remaining appointment times that you could schedule for your advising appointment. And I highly encourage you to choose the earliest possible appointment. The longer you wait to schedule an appointment, the more difficult it might become for you to get registered for the classes you need. So please don't wait. And then after you choose your appointment date and time, you will be prompted to answer questions about your major, minor, dual enrollment credit, ACT and SAT scores, summer courses, etc. So answer these as fully and accurately as possible, as will help me place you in the correct classes. And then advising appointments will be held virtually through Zoom. And I ask that you please plan to meet with me, with both of us using webcams and microphones. I am very eager to get to know you and for you to get to know me, so I want to make this appointment as much like we would if we were sitting face to face, if we can. However, if you don't have access to a camera or a strong enough internet connection, you will be able to call on a cell phone or a landline instead, and those instructions will be emailed to you. Additionally, before you schedule an appointment, you will be prompted to confirm that you have downloaded Microsoft Teams. So as an SIUE student, you will be given access to Microsoft 365 for free, and Microsoft Teams is a part of that package. So I encourage you to download it sooner rather than later, as you'll be able to call and chat with me via that app, and I'll be able to share my documents or other information with you before you arrive to campus and even after. Okay, so a few last important pieces of information before we move on to the next step. So as I already mentioned, you will be pre-registered for your classes to ensure that you have a seat in the classes you need to get into. However, if you do need to change that schedule, you'll be able to talk about it in our first advising appointment. And then after that appointment, any changes that you need to make, you'll want to contact me as soon as possible, probably via email. Likewise, if you complete any testing, summer courses, or AP courses, any information that gets updated, you will want to be sure that I get that and am made aware of it as quickly as possible so that we can make adjustments to your fall schedule. And finally, the last and possibly most important piece of information to keep track of is that your first installment of your bill will be due on August 7th. So you'll want to be sure that that gets paid so that you can remain in the classes that we get you scheduled for. And finally, we've made it to the moment we've both been waiting for, scheduling your advising appointment. So if you have a smartphone, you can scan the QR code with your camera to pull up the link, or you can pause the video and write down the link, whatever works best for you. Either way, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and my previous video, and I'm really excited to meet with you very soon. So I will talk to you later.